Hi, this is Bo Hendricks. Hey, I want to talk to you today about thinking traps. When it comes to resilience, the way we think can really affect how we respond to a particular situation and how we are able to move through that situation and, get to the other side either in a better state, or that's what the ultimate goal is to be in a better state on the other side of this particular situation. And, when it comes to dealing with the daily stressors of life, we want to have that resilience that keeps us energized, that keeps us on focus, and allows us to be able to just deal with the daily stressors of life and not get run down. So thinking traps is one of those things that can run us down. So there's three things that I want to talk about today, and I want to give credit for the particular definitions of these to Dr. Karen Rivich from the University of Pennsylvania and Dr. Martin Seligman. And so they've been doing research into resilience, and Dr. Martin Seligman is called the father of positive psychology because of his amazing work over the last few decades. And so they talk about three particular thinking traps that I want to share with you today. One of them is called mind reading. So mind reading is when something happens and you believe that you absolutely know what another person is thinking, and you don't even need to ask them. You have a argument with a loved one, and you don't even think that there's a need to ask them what's going on because you already know, right? You already know what they're thinking. You fully expect them to know exactly what you're thinking. And so you're walking around with this understanding that you already know what they're thinking. There's no need to talk. Well, what does that do? That creates a sincere lack of communication. Instead of saying, hey, what are you thinking about this situation? What are you thinking about me? And here's what I'm thinking. You're walking around having these imaginary conversations in your head with this person, and you think, I don't even need to talk to them. I already know what they're thinking. They already know what I'm thinking. And so that really prevents communication. It prevents conflict resolution, and it can just suck the energy out of a relationship. So that's number one. All right, number two is catastrophizing thinking trap. Catastrophizing has to do with whenever an event occurs, you assume the worst. You let your mind spin out of control, and you just ruminate on the irrational worst case scenario, and it has already happened in your head, and you're just preparing yourself for it, and you're saying, if this is your wife or your husband, you're like, oh, we're going to get divorced, and our finances are going to be destroyed because of this divorce, and you just keep going on and on and on and on. This catastrophizing and this rumination is just destroying your positive outlook on life, right? And so just like you can choose to think about these irrational worst case scenarios, you can also choose to think about the rational best case scenarios, right? Or come to some happy medium. Now, the third one I want to share with you today is called helplessness. Helplessness is about when people, they have an event that occurs and they feel like that this event is universal. It's going to affect everything in their lives, and it's stable, which means, according to Dr. Seligman and Dr. Rivich, stable means, that it's not going to change. Nothing you can do to change it. So it's universal. It's going to affect everything in your life, and there's nothing you can do to change it. So you get this overwhelming sense of helplessness. My life is over. Oh my God, this thing is never going to change. How do I'm so embarrassed, or whatever you're going to be thinking. And so those are the three thinking traps that I wanted to share with you today. Remember, the first one is mind reading. The second one is catastrophizing. And then the third one is helplessness. And so what do you do to counter those? You take the rational opposite approach of each of those thinking traps. But the most important thing is the awareness of them. So over this next week, as things occur in your life, just be aware of mind reading, catastrophizing, and helplessness. Now, keep track of how often you think about those things or you use those patterns. And thanks for joining me today, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye.